viewers, this is Princess Sandra Mekezawande, the convener of the Home Builders Initiative. Yeah, like we've been discussing from the last episode to now, it's still give and take in marriage. We're looking at it from different angles and different perspectives because from time to time, we've been bringing different people on this particular platform to talk about what they think about marriage, what they think about give and take in marriage. Today with me, I have a very beautiful lady. She's an old-time friend. I've known her for like over 20 years. A wonderful person, and she's been in marriage for over 12 years. I would like you to meet her. She is...
My name is Veronica OJ. So good to be on this program.
You're welcome, my dear. I mean, my friend's own sister. I am so happy that I have you here because I actually want to, peep into what you think about marriage, give and take in marriage. I don't know if you agree with me that marriage actually is give and take. Do you agree with me on that?
Marriage, yes.
Okay.
It's give and take.
It's give and take, okay.
Yes.
Another question I would like to ask is give and take. To what extent can one give, and to what extent can one expect to take out of marriage? Because people try to look at it from different angles. I don't know. I just want to view it from your own angle. What do you think?
Well, giving and taking in marriage, in my own definition, I would rather call it give and give.
Or give and give.
Give and give. Because marriage has to do with the coming together of two imperfect people,
Okay.
bringing their imperfections together and trying to work them out. Now, you cannot change when it comes to marriage, but you can actually balance and then make do with what both of you can live with. When we're talking about giving and taking, it covers a whole lot of marital aspects. It has to do with financial, it has to do with emotional, it has to do with the physical, and otherwise there are so many things that one give and take in marriages. These days marriages might crash because someone is holding one thing from the other. Now there has to be a balance in finances, there has to be a balance in the show of love, there has to be a balance in the show of affection. There has to be a balance in every aspect. Now, when the weight is on one person, it tends to weigh the person down. For instance, I cannot be working and expect everything. No matter how capable my husband is, there are certain things that one should do as a wife. For instance, I'm using the wifely part.
That's where I want you to come from anyway.
Now, women most times we tend to believe in it's my self.
Okay.
My. Well, men have theirs, but I just want to, since we're talking about the give and take, when it comes to finances, most times the women believe in the my syndrome. My syndrome in the sense that you feel the man should be the only one who should handle all home front financial troubles or problems. The bills. That means the man he's the one who to pay rent, he's the one to finance utility bills, school fee, feeding, and what have you. Even
possibly your upkeep too.
Yes, even my upkeep. Of course. I need to do my hair, I need to get my nails done. And you find out that when the load is on one shoulder, it tends to tilt.
Okay.
Now, if the woman is not working, it's a different ballgame entirely.
Yeah, I was going to ask that.
If the woman is not working, it's entirely a different ballgame. And because we have some homes whereby the man might not be financially buoyant enough to actually set his wife up if she's not working. So she tends to stay back. But even at that, where the giving comes in is you as a woman try to please your husband from the little that you get. It might not be that you're going to buy him a dress or a shirt or a shoe. It might be the quality of food you give to him first. It might be as little as recharge card. It might be as little as maybe sometimes you find that your husband says, I'm running out of airtime. Can I send you 100 naira bill? It's not because it's too much, or it's not because he doesn't have that particular money to sort those things off, but your show of care sometimes or tends to help the man actually do more for us as women. Now let's go a little, spiritual. When we praise God, we have that when most times when we praise, God leaves His throne and He comes down.
Comes down to us. Yeah,
So
exactly.
sometimes you tend to actually elevate your husband when you do a little show of care.
Okay.
In that,
so giving a little shop,
aspect,
a
that
little
is
care
the
can go a long way.
finances. That
Okay.
I'm just talking about the finance aspect. Now, it's not because he doesn't have. Maybe he might have forgotten, and you remembered. Or for instance, maybe you were contacted at that point, and then you just said to make the transfer. It
So
tends to
what you're trying to say in essence is that in terms of finance, it's also good that women should take some bills, like to show that they can actually give.
Yes, they can
That's
actually.
our giving is not limited only to the kitchen or to the bedroom.
You can
you can even take it across the paying bills in the home if you can do that.
If you can.
Okay, now I want to take you to another angle now because we've talked about finance. My give and take is cut across so many things. For instance, now we women, when we go into our marriages, we go in with our glass shape, if you know what I mean. And by the time you go through one childbirth or the other, you begin to lose your body. In fact, by the time you just get married, before you know what's happening, you begin to lose your body because sometimes you need to stay up late to eat late, not because you do late night eating, but because the man is coming home late and you need to eat with him. And at some point, if you begin to add some little weight here and there, and for some women that I've spoken with, it gives them a lot of concern. In fact, some are saying, I'm not ready to lose my body for anything called marriage. Do you agree with me on that? Is it good? Because a lot of young ladies are, putting their bodies as a top priority than, giving it up for the sake of marriage. It could be because of eating late. It could be because of eating when you don't even want to eat because your husband wants to eat. It could be because of childbirth. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, when it comes to that, it's a really, really tough one for women. I've been there. I used to be, the usual. But, life has its ups and downs. And since we're in this life, marriage too has its own ups and downs when it comes to that aspect. You find out that most women are no longer willing to give up their bodies because of maybe the tell tales that they've had from other marriages or from experiences that they've seen. It's not about, no woman wants to go out of shape, of the truth. No woman wants to just decide to, okay, I am married, let me relax. No. But men, over the years, has refused to understand the fact that even as women, we do not like the bodies that we are in. What keeps us going is the bundle of joy. That's when it comes to childbearing, the bundle of joy that God has brought through us to the world. And over the years, we've noticed that baby fat or pregnancy fat, it's a bit difficult to lose for most mothers. So the husbands, if they do not help we as women to understand that the bodies that we're going through, the pattern of, or the way that we're going through right now is a phase, and then they should learn to accept us the way we are. Most women are beginning to run from marriages because you find out that the slim, our stomachs becomes bulgy. Maybe we have some inches increase in our boobs. Our hip lines have expanded and all that. And then the men begin to see she's not looking the way she was when I met her. But if they learn to appreciate us, that we had actually gone through a lot, bringing a life to the world, then I think more single ladies will be
willing to
get married.
I agree with you, but I think also as a lady, I just want to say it because I feel we owe ourselves that. We owe ourselves, appreciating ourselves.
Yes.
When you remember the bundle of joy, something has come out of me, that's enough to make you happy. Because I want to disagree with the young lady that says she's not ready to give up her body because she's going to have a child tomorrow. Tomorrow the man will start messing around and because I'm fat, he dumps me for a slim girl. And I told her, I said, look, my dear, it all depends on you. That you're big doesn't mean that you're not good looking. It's just you taking care of yourself. So this era of I'm married, I have one, I care less. I mean, what else am I still in the market should end, because most times we women go in, we give, then we forget to recover.
Well,
Do you agree with me that
yeah,
we don't
we
recover
don't
back?
recover back.
We don't recover back again. Like we just like, okay, we have done it and that's it, and So it tells on us at the end of the day, because we're looking at you giving and not being depressed about your giving. We're looking at you doing something in marriage, sacrificing your marriage and enjoying it and smiling doing it. We're looking at whatever it is you put to marriage, you should be happy you did it.
Yes.
Not
the other way around.
Not the other way around.
Now, marriage is a beautiful thing. I started with that line.
Okay.
It's a very beautiful thing. Now, if God has blessed you with a child, whom a lot of people are willing to give their bodies away for. I've had siblings or sisters who have been married for over 20, 22 years, who have not even conceived one. Those kind of a person, people, tell them to add the whole weight and have their bundle of joy. I'm sure they'll be willing to give. Now, the first and foremost about this thing is we as women loving ourselves.
Exactly.
Big people slay. They slay well.
Whoa.
And they're so pretty. But then, if you look in that aspect and say, I will not get married because I do not want to lose my shape, we'll get old someday. We'll still not look the way we are looking. You cannot compare the way you're looking at 18 years with the way you're looking right now. So
I was thinking all that was gone with marriage. That's my thought. Maybe don't mind me.
You cannot look that way.
I know.
Anymore.
I know.
So why not?
So without child or no child, you're still gonna get old. You're still gonna lose.
And it comes down to the giving and taking. The man should be able to accept you, that you are giving him a life. Who is his own blood?
Exactly.
Now, in this part of the world, the men own the kids.
Yeah.
So it is his who has made you look that way. So he should be able to accept that you have brought good things and then appreciate you the way you are.
So the men need to understand
They need to understand
that the woman has done so much sacrifice.
So
much sacrifice, because
that's
a lot. That's a lot. That's a whole lot.
Sometimes I wonder.
Yeah, and there's something I was thinking about the other day. This thing, we're still talking about this pregnancy, childbearing of a thing. A woman pauses her life for 9 months. Have you thought about that?
I don't want to remember.
Oh my God, I've been there like 5 times.
Please.
So you get to pause your life for 9 months. Don't do this, just because you have something growing inside of you. And it doesn't end there. Do you remember after the childbirth, the 1 year, the 2 years, the nursing, the bringing up?
Oh my gosh, you are bringing back memories that I don't want to remember.
It's crazy. So much sacrifice, my dear.
It looks like you want to lose it.
So much sacrifice.
You have cravings. Sometimes you do not even want to put on some certain clothes.
Exactly.
I remember when I was pregnant with my first, I would just wake up and the kind of clothing I want to wear at that time, it's not what anyone should even see you with.
Oh my God.
And then I remember walking down the road and my mom saw me. And she was like, she packed her car, told me, enter the car.
What are you wearing?
And then I didn't see anything. And now, on a normal day, you wouldn't do that.
I know.
So these are the sacrifices that women had gone through. Now, is it the hard burns? Is it the stomach expansion and the movements? Is it the labor? Is it the nursing of the child?
The men need to.
The men
need to appreciate the women. It's very, very important. So, I think we're giving more than the men. Now you're making me feel like we're giving more than the men.
We are. Now, the little we want from our men is the appreciation.
Okay.
Let the love be. You don't now, comparison breaks. When you compare, you're not giving.
Okay.
You cannot actually see someone and say, it's done well for good reasons, though. Most times comparison, but this person is making, that's a different thing. But you cannot just rub it in a woman's face. It demoralizes.
Yeah.
Can you see that woman? She already had 5 kids.
And
she's looking this way. Now, jokingly, I told a man, now look at that woman. She's not the one. She had given birth to 3. And my wife only has 1, and she's looking this way. I said, can't you see that man riding a Range Rover?
Exactly. And you're riding.
And your wife is walking.
Oh, okay, that's a good one.
And I said, why are you saying this? But then, I just wanted him to understand the fact that you don't compare. We also have things to compare. But for the love that we give, we do not like to belittle our men.
Yeah.
We do not like to rub it in their faces.
Yeah.
Why don't you accept our bodies that we are this? Now that show of love your wife gives you. Now there's nothing like the feeling of, you're big. And then your husband comes and then shows the world that he likes your imperfection just the way you are.
Exactly.
Even if you want to actually shed some weight, the support from him and the love that he's showing makes it work faster.
Yeah.
It gives you that going. But when you're trying to, maybe you're being condemned, let me use that word.
Yeah, which a lot of men do.
You're being condemned.
Yeah, they do it.
And it's not working. You find out that you tend to look for faster ways to lose that weight. And then sometimes causing harm to ourselves.
Yes, health-wise.
And then health-wise. And when we do not get results, you find out that every day you stand in front of the mirror, you begin to starve yourself, and then you begin to look after running marathon of exercises, and then you begin to look at yourself, am I losing weight? And then maybe you walk out and someone goes, you're looking so big. I saw you last week. Now it looks as if you have expanded. Depression sets in.
And that depression is killing.
And it's real. Now, what leads to this depression, like we were saying? Now the woman begins to look for quicker means to probably shed that weight. It's just an instance anyway, and then it's not working. Maybe the nearest person she sees, oh, you're looking too big. Now, to her, she has worked out enough to have lost some kilos,
yes.
But it's not working. Now, when she gets home, maybe her husband begins to avoid her. No romance, no show of love. The woman begins to withdraw. Once she begins to withdraw,
are you sure? Sorry to cut you, because there's something you said now that I want to clarify.
Okay.
Is it that she gets home, the husband starts avoiding her, or she gets home because she's depressed, she begins to withdraw? So don't you think the women make the first move of withdrawal?
I don't think so. Sometimes
really?
I've heard of cases whereby the man actually withdraws.
Okay.
Now he begins to visualize his wife like some other woman, for instance, or begins to see her like that woman that he met at the first instance.
Okay.
If she no longer looks like that person that she was then, he begins to probably withdraw.
So
the home is no longer fun.
Okay.
Now the withdrawal might not necessarily mean her, well, whatever is going on with her, but we as women, we are easy to actually switch moods.
Okay, yeah, we normally have
yes, we actually to bring meanings to things. Now it might not necessarily be that. So when the husband now later wants to break, we love women, we love attention.
That's what we want. Now. We are attention.
We want show of love, we want care. Now, for instance, if I think my husband is here and I want to maybe play and then tap him, and then he begins to tell me, please, I'm busy.
Back and all that.
You find out that we withdraw. Now, we don't withdraw because we caught him with another woman. We withdraw because there are lots of things going on our mind at that time. Why did he do this? Is this in some other women?
Yeah.
Am I beginning to irritate him?
Okay.
Do I look disgusting? Or is it because he said I've added a flesh? Now, so many things comes in. You think round the clock. Maybe that man does not even really know what's going on at that point in time. Really. And maybe tomorrow again he comes. Maybe she was expecting him to come and cuddle and then tell her, okay, I'm sorry for what I said. And he did not say it. Now, that notion has grown from what it was and is beginning to grow higher. Now, leading to depression. She begins to withdraw. It begins to tell on her physical appearance. She begins to look older. Now, some people tend to add more weight when they are depressed.
Of course, now there's nothing like some people tend to, they do, because you fall in love with food. Haven't you heard that depression goes with food?
Swollen.
I know that weight you're
running with only God knows what is going on in your mind. But if, as a man, you understand your woman, when she begins to withdraw, you should know.
Pay some attention.
Pay some attention. It might not necessarily be. You might want to just call her out of it. And what's wrong with you? Please, can you bring this? Please, can you help me get this? Come and sit here. I bought this. Let's eat together. Now, you find out that the woman will begin to say, okay, maybe he's trying to make friends with me. She wants to maybe the usual shakara that we
Yeah,
as women do,
yeah.
but along the line, you begin to find out that she comes out of it. But when a man really do not show that he cares for the feeling of his woman, it's basically terrible.
Okay, so now like trying to gather all you've been saying, like we've been talking about things, back to our topic, which is give and take. So it means that in as much as women give, give, we need that some appreciation from our men, like to like a pat
A
behind
pat
to,
on the back.
to just say well done, like kind
You
of saying,
tried.
yeah, like kind of saying well done.
Bravo.
But what about for the men? When they give, what are we supposed to do? Like to also appreciate them? Is there any way a woman can appreciate a man, you know, for what he's doing? Like a man that picks his bills, a man that does what he's supposed to do. What's our own show of love? I know we are attention. Women love attention, of course, but don't that we cannot deny that men also need attention. So, in what way can a woman show a man that appreciation?
Respect.
Okay.
Respect. I've spoken with a couple of married men, and then they will tell you, keep your love, show me respect. Now they'll tell you if you
keep your love, show me respect.
If your wife, they'll tell you if your wife respects you, she would love you.
No, but that's the way it's supposed to be now. Women don't show love. Women show respect.
Now,
then men love back.
Now that's where I'm going to.
Okay.
They'll tell you, but I loved him. But no, that men, most times when they are going for a wife, that's this homely women that they talk about does not really entail she loves me. No, it entails
she respects me.
She has respect. Respect covers a whole lot of things.
Of course,
it doesn't have to be I'm kneeling down to greet my husband or I'm lying down for him to walk on my head. No, it shows that you respect his feelings. You're able to discuss homely discussions. You're able to prefer solutions. You're able to give him a listening ear, even when there are disagreements.
Respect is quite big.
It's quite big.
It's another topic for another day. It's quite big.
It's large.
It's large.
So
yeah, I know.
You find out that if you show man, although we have some other men who I don't know how to
they don't
describe.
Understand what is respect.
Yes, they don't understand what is respect. When you show respect, it doesn't work.
I get
but
it.
for the good home, you find that there is love from the man to the wife, and there is so much respect from the wife to the husband.
So basically, what you're trying to say is that the way we can appreciate our husbands, our men, is showing them respect.
No talking him down.
Okay.
Be proud of him.
Okay.
Put him first. Put him first. Jokingly, I tell people that my husband, in fact, he is the youngest among the children that I have.
So he gets the more attention.
He gets more attention. Now, I inculcate my kids into the act.
Okay.
I'll tell him, let's finish with Daddy, right?
Yeah.
When we are done. And then he feels happy. Behind him, sometimes we might laugh because we know, my son will say, yes, my son will say, Mommy, I say, just allow, let's be done with
Let him enjoy this.
And then at the end of it, you find out that he's feeling
like
the macho man.
I know. But he is actually the macho man, don't you think so? Yeah,
yeah, he is.
The big baby in the house. I call them the big baby in the house.
When he's done, sometimes I'll tell him, you this man. I don't know what you're talking about. So what we're saying now is, you give them, accord them the respect that is due them.
Yeah.
And I actually believe, for those men especially who do not, kudos to those men who do not actually beat their wives, who loves their wife,
yeah,
and who put their wives to us first.
Yeah, big kudos to such men because
there
are very few of them.
I really like to associate with those kind of people. Put your wife first in everything you do. You know your wife is number one amongst every other woman, and that is.
I think that's the biggest show of love you can give to your wife.
That's the biggest show of love.
Yeah, that you love your wife. You love your wife. If you don't put her first, I don't think you love her.
I don't know why you want to keep her.
I don't know what your love. I don't know what's your definition of love anyway. If you love your wife, if you keep singing "I love my wife," and when things come up, you put her behind.
Doesn't work that way.
I'm trying to.
But we have some men who really do not want to showcase their wives anywhere.
I don't want to believe it's the word showcase.
I don't showcase. Maybe I'm not using the right word.
Yeah, because it's not about showcasing, it's about just doing the right thing.
Doing the right showcase in the sense that I'm not talking about social media alone.
Okay.
No. I'm not talking about she's on my DP.
Okay, no, okay.
Now, according to respect, we meant to give wives respect.
Of course, when you love your
wife, there are certain places that you ought not to be, but if you were single, you would be there.
Yeah, I understand.
Sometimes there are some places that you want to go to, and then it just flashes, and I'm going back, my wife.
Yeah.
And then you have friends now, why is your wife controlling you? You say, no, please, I'm going back. Not that the wife flows.
Yeah.
Not that if you go and you get back, she would no longer be your wife. But that consciousness that, no, I had not discussed it earlier. She might not really have anything to offer other than, are you sure you're supposed to go there?
Yeah.
Okay, please be careful. But that feeling that she gets that you even carried her alone is super.
I know, yeah, I want to agree with you. So, it's basically that this give and take of a thing, there's a part a man has to play, there's a part a woman has to play. Because there's this argument that we've been having, is give and take solely on the woman, or is it a mutual thing? So from our discussion, it shows that it's a mutual thing.
Both.
The man has to play his part, then the woman has to play her part as well, so that things will be fine. But do you agree with me that marriage is about one person that really decides that this thing must work? Do you agree with that? Like that?
One person
that decides that this relationship must work.
I believe it has to do with the both.
Okay, both of you have to
agree.
Okay.
From the beginning of this discussion, I said it has to do with two imperfect people.
Okay.
Bringing their imperfections and trying to work it out.
We've really talked so much on give and take. This give and take of a thing, it's unending, like it goes and on and on and on. I don't know, I would like you to say something to our viewers. What are you leaving our viewers with today? Like, what exactly are you putting out there to them concerning give and take? I mean, your advice.
Well, the advice I have for viewers at home is let love lead, let there be respect. Giving and taking is reciprocal. And like I said at the initial stage, I did not say give and take, I said give and give.
Yeah, you said
when
so.
We have the mind to give, if you have the mind to give and I have the mind to give, you find that everyone is giving and taking concurrently.
Whoa, it's been a wonderful time with you. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate your presence here. So a wonderful time with you. I enjoyed your contribution, and I'm sure the viewers there enjoyed what you have said so far. And I just pray that it goes a long way to touch a lot of families out there. Thank you for coming, and I'm looking forward to having you some other time again so that we can discuss other topics that concerns marriage.
Anytime.
Oh, thank you for that. Before you leave, we'll have a little gift to give to you. Okay, this is a little gift coming from the Home Builders.
Wow.
Yes, it's something to just remind you that you are a builder, you're a home builder, so that whenever you come around and you see it just reminds you of the role that you have to play in your marriage. From us to you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, you're welcome.
Really, really beautiful.
Don't forget to keep it at your bedside.
No, I will. Thank you to the Home Builders Initiative. I really, really appreciate it, and it's good to be here. And I hope that our discussion today helped you the long way to homes out there. Thank you so much.
You're welcome there. Whoa, it was a wonderful time with my friend turned sister Veronica. I hope you enjoyed the session with her. It's still of give and take in marriage. We'll still be coming up with more episodes still on give and take. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Home Builders TV. Then please follow us on Instagram, The Home Builders _initiative.